Welcome to the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite makes the process of becoming a published, best-selling author as simple as sipping your morning cup of coffee. You can learn more about Authors Unite at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner, and today I have Keezy Hardaway with us. He's the solo Dolo podcaster. So welcome to the show, Keezy.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. So we'll dive right into the first question. The first question I have for you is, what's the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
The best story of my life is how a kid growing up in a single-parent immigrant home was able to come into the world. Not growing up without a father in my life, used it as a positive to be able to flourish out here in life right now.
And what's the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Always focus on yourself and cut out the middleman. Don't depend on nobody.
And what's your best piece of overall business advice?
Focus on your mental health, because if your mind isn't right, everything else is just going to fall apart.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Patience, young man. Patience. It will all come eventually. Just stop trying to rush everything.
And in your opinion, what's the key to happiness?
The key to happiness, I believe, is family.
And what's the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
The best book I've read is Charlene, Black Privilege. And the message I got from that is always live your truth.
And what's your favorite quote and why?
Only make moves if your heart is in it, and always live the phrase, sky's the limit. B.I.G.
Love that, man. Thank you so much for hopping on. The last question I have for you is, where can people find you online?
You can find me online on Keezy Hardaway Podcast on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play. I'm also on Twitter, Keezy Hardaway, and on Facebook, Keezy Hardaway.
Perfect, man. Thank you for coming on again.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Tyler. You have a good day.
You too.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.